Okay, so this is the last part of exercise 1. You've put hats on all your ducks. You've used 6 different hats. So you've been practicing cutting things out and moving them and sizing them. We're going to link our ducks so that when you move a duck, the hat goes along with it. And to do that, first thing is make sure when you're in the move arrow that you have the auto select button on. That's going to be the easy way to select your layers so that you can link them. And then click on the layer of the duck, see where it is. So in this case, this duck is layer 1. Now I'm going to click on the hat, and I see that it's right up here. So I'll drag it so that it's right on top of layer 1. And now I'm going to shift click to grab them both. I could also command click to do that. And I'm going to click the little chain. And that means now that when I move them, they are locked together. If I go to make this duck bigger or smaller using a free transform command, always holding shift, remember, notice they're both going to size together. So that's an easy way to move things around and lock them together. You're kind of chaining them with those links. If you need to take the link off at any point, just select the layers and click the chain again, and the links will go away. So they're not permanent, they're really versatile. You can turn them on and off at will. So link all your ducks, because that way you know how to do it, and also it'll be easier when we go to put our ducks in the water. So putting the ducks in the water is the very last part of this. It's probably the part that people get the most confused about. What you basically do to accomplish it is you take a little piece of water and you copy it, and then you stick it on top of the duck. And that's going to make it look like the duck is inside the water. We can also lower the opacity of the layer to make it see-through so that we see the duck a little bit before. So to do it, first click on the lake layer. And we're clicking the lake layer because that's the layer we want to copy. So if we are on the duck, if we have the duck highlighted blue, we're going to be copying a piece of the duck, which isn't going to help us do this. So you need to always be on the lake when you're doing the copy portion of this. Now to grab the piece of water, we're going to try out one of the lassos. And the lasso I recommend for this is just the straight lasso tool. So notice where I am. It's the second tool down on the left side of your toolbar. And it's a regular lasso. Now I recommend that we feather this edge 1 pixel, and that's a small amount, but what it's going to do is soften the edge a little bit so it doesn't look really choppy. The amount that you're going to choose to feather is usually going to be based on how high resolution your document is. So if it's, say it's 300 pixels per inch, you could feather more than if it's only 72. So say 1 for this, that works pretty well. You always have to choose the feather command before you grab it with the lasso. It does not work to do it after, unfortunately, because I half the time forget to do this. Alright, now making sure that my lake layer is blue highlighted in my layer panel, I'm going to draw and I'm going to kind of make a little sketch of the area that I want to copy, and it ends up looking kind of like a smile. So just watch what I'm doing here. I'm just going and I'm grabbing along the edge of the bottom, and then I'm making sure that when I come back around that I get all of the bottom of the duck covered. So it kind of looks like that. Now if I decide that I didn't do a very good job of grabbing it, and I would recommend putting a slight curve here instead of going straight across. Straight across isn't going to be as believable. So if I don't like it though, I can easily deselect. So remember, select, deselect, or Command D. And I can do it again. All I've created now at this point is a selection. So I'll try it one more time. Like so. Now once I have it, all I need to do is copy and paste. And I think the thing that confuses people is the fact that it's showing on top of the duck. Even though it's showing on top of the duck, it's only going to copy the lake layer. It's not going to grab the duck, and that's because only the lake layer is selected. So now I just need to do a copy paste. Who remembers the shortcut for copy paste? Yeah, Command C, Command V, or long way, edit, copy, and you can see that it's Command C here, right? Edit, copy, and edit, paste, Command V. I don't know why they chose V for paste, seeing how there's no V in paste, but they did, so there we go. So I don't see anything happening, and that's because it's thrown that lake layer right on top of the original lake. If I turn the little layer of visibility, the eyeball off in the bottom layer though, notice I see it now. So that's the little piece that I copied. So all I have to do now is take it and set it on top of the duck. So I'll just go ahead and I'll drag it up, and I happen to know this duck is on layer 1, so I'll drag it above it. And I could drag it above the duck's hat too if I wanted. So now my duck is kind of in the water. Now the ducks that are up close, you might just see the reflection of the bottom of the duck through the water. Farther away, you won't see that. And you guys can kind of maybe have experienced that when you're close to a boat. Sometimes you can, if it's shallow and the water's really nice and clear, you can kind of see it. So to get that illusion, we're going to select the lake piece, and we're just going to drop the opacity. Opacity is how solid something is. So if the opacity is 100%, it means it's 100% solid. As you drop that number down, it gets more and more transparent. So I might just go in and drop it just a little bit so that I can see the reflection of that duck under the water. And it's up to you how much you show there, whether it's a lot or a little. Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time so that we, hopefully if you missed the first one, just watch again. It's the same thing. So one more, I'm gonna click the duck so I know where it is. It's up here. It's layer 1, copy 5. Then I'm gonna go down to the lake layer because that's the layer I need to copy. And I'm going to use that lasso once again, and I'm going to drag around the edge of the duck. I'm going to make kind of a smile, and then I copy paste. This time I'll use the shortcut. So Command C, Command V. Okay, I don't see anything happen, but remember, don't trust this, trust your layers. So I know here if I turn off the bottom lake layer, I can see what I made. And now I'm just going to drag it on top of that duck. And that duck was layer 1, copy 5, so I need to bring it up here. Then I can make that see-through if I want to. Now one thing you want to avoid on this is moving the water piece, because the reason it looks real is because that water is still sitting in the same spot. If you move it, the lake is going to look disrupted. It's not going to look natural. So, and I actually, looking at this one, I don't really like how smooth, how uneven that is. I could cut that piece off, or I could just do it again too. But that's the last piece of this. Put all 6 of your ducks a little bit under the water so that it's believable. One thing I think I showed you guys, but I did not demo. I'm going to demo altering the color of the ducks. So because our lake is so cool, it's bluish, greenish, grayish. Our ducks are very, very orange. If I want to make the duck a little less bright, here's what I do. I click the duck. I go to Image, Adjustments, and Photo Filter. And the default is warming. I don't want that. I want a cooling filter to cool down the duck. So I'll go to Cooling. There's 3 of them. I can try all 3 to see which one I like the best. And basically, you can arrange the density, you can kick it up. One thing you don't want is the ducks to look fake, so don't go too crazy with it. You can also click on and off the preview button, so you can have it, you can kind of see where it started and where it's ending. But we don't want our ducks to look too warm, because they won't be believable that they're actually in that cloudy environment. The color is going to be picking up color from all around it. So in general, we want these ducks to be a whole lot cooler than they started out. So you would go and do that for all of your ducks to make them look more believable. That's another step as part of this exercise. And you're going to be doing that for any project where you're mixing photos that are taken in different environments. And generally what you want to look for is it warm or cool? The warm colors or the fire colors, yellow, orange, red, or is it more of the blues, purples, or greens that you're looking at? And you just want to kind of try to get those two pictures or whatever pictures you're combining to work together in a way that's believable.